All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. My name is Andrew Knightlick. I'm founder and director of the Center for Executive Coaching. We have Diana Stoichescu here as well. We'll do introductions momentarily, but we're co-developers and co-trainers of this program. And what I want to share with you, in what I don't think will be a full hour, unless you have lots of questions, is really what you see on the screen. Why should every coach be a team coach? And to start, I want to give you just some case studies. Like the Center for Executive Coaching is not about theory. We're about, like, how do you actually serve clients in a way that brings value? We use a case study, situational coaching approach. But here are some examples. One of these we just did in our Center for Executive Coaching curriculum. But imagine the president of a division of a publicly traded company. He has a set of companies that have been acquired under him. Some people have called those companies a bag of rocks, and he has to somehow integrate the leaders of these companies, himself and some administrative leaders, into a finely tuned team, or else they're going to lose market share to competitors, and they already are. So you're brought in to coach the CEO and this team to come together, form a vision and strategy, and execute. And honestly, the board of directors is losing patience with the merger. And this, to me, is a classic example of what you might encounter and what we're going to train you for. One of my favorite engagements ever that we use as a case study, because it's so unique, is a team of 12 elite faculty members from different universities. They won an $80 million grant from the National Science Foundation. If you're from outside the USA, the NSF is a congressionally funded science foundation that invests in scientific research. And so they won this big grant to install leading edge research equipment. But to get the grant, the requirement was that they all come together as a team, create a new nonprofit, and develop rules so that researchers around the world could come together and make breakthroughs in research in this field. And if you've ever worked with faculty from universities, they don't collaborate particularly well within their university, let alone outside, and you're hired. Your job is to bring them together, in some cases, just to learn what a team even is, rules of engagement for a team, how to communicate effectively, and how to work effectively together to form this team and win the grant. And we're not just talking about a work group here. They really need to build chemistry, come together, care about each other, put aside their own petty interests, and make it happen. So there's two cases. Let me give you two more. Healthcare systems often have issues with teams. It's a great area for team coaching. I've worked with a number of health systems. We'll use a couple of these as cases. This particular one, not unlike others, is an executive team that, in this case, works very well together. And they need to implement a bunch of changes for survival and hopefully thriving, or else they're going to be bought if they even survive. This is a cohesive group, but there's a leadership team that has 9 more critical leaders in the system. So it's 15 total. It's a really interesting engagement, right? You're brought in to work with the executive team first. That's pretty easy. But they talk about a bunch of challenges with a leadership team that is not unified, that doesn't necessarily trust the executive team because it's come from somewhere else. And your job as a coach is to help everybody come together and make the change happen. And then finally, where I got my start was with a nonprofit board of directors. You've been hired to help it work more effectively, to set strategy, allocate resources, and be sure that strategy gets done. If you've ever worked with a board of directors of a nonprofit, it can feel like herding cats. And while they may not have to be a team in the classic sense of a team, this I would put under the umbrella of team coaching as well. How do you help the board trust each other, understand each other, and get aligned so that they can not just create strategy that sits on the shelf, but make something happen? Okay, so those are just 4 cases. There's over 25 case studies in our program, but I want to give you a taste of what team coaching is. It's sometimes easier to show by doing and explaining with cases rather than get into discussions. Okay, so today, and again, thank you for your time. I want to talk briefly about the Center for Executive Coaching, introduce your 2 faculty members, talk about team coaching, why it's big, why you should join our team coaching certification. cover some of the benefits, take you through the curriculum, show you what's included, and show you the outcomes. And, you know, the call to action here is to register. If you want to register, we start our first ever cohort August 31st. That means inaugural level pricing. You know, it'll be a nice, small, wonderful group. We attract great people, and I hope you'll join. So let's talk about the Center for Executive Coaching. We have been, since 2006, training executive and leadership coaches around the world. We're an ICF accredited level 1 and level 2 organization. We've been accredited with the ICF. I don't know, has it been 12 years now? We're known for working with successful professionals. We work with professionals and leaders from some of the most recognized organizations in the world, from the United States military to Olympic athletes to Fortune 500s to you know, just generally amazing people. What we're known for is practical, results-driven toolkits for already successful professionals. You're not going to get any fluff with us. We're not a life coach training program. We're not going to give you academic overkill. There's no jargon. We're here to serve clients. We know what it takes to serve clients. And should you join us, that's what you'll get. I'm the founder of the Center for Executive Coaching. I started coaching probably 1998, 1999. I was a management consultant for a long time, and noticed that clients already knew the answers. Like, I get really proud of these presentations I give them, and they say, yeah, that's about right. They weren't that thrilled with that. And when I asked them, what they really wanted was someone to talk to, a sounding board, a coach, someone safe, someone objective. And that's how I got into coaching and working with me, both in our training, but also for coaching supervision. If you want to get your ICF designation, is Diana Stoichesko. And she is absolutely amazing. I don't know how long ago we met, but what was it? Is it 10 years now?
I think more than 10 years. I think 14, around 14.
Yeah.
15
So
years. Yes.
We met at a seminar here in Florida. She came from Romania, and she is a pioneer among coaches in Romania. Not an easy market to be a woman or a pioneer in, and she's done it. She's studied just about everything you can study in coaching. She's a master certified coach with the ICF. She's an expert at coaching supervision. And if you want the ICF Advanced Team Coaching designation, you'll need to do that. And you'll get to work with her on that. She's just amazing. But Diana, anything you would want to add about your background?
Well, thank you, Andrew. What I can say is that I'm passionate about coaching. I started with individual and group coaching, and then I added team coaching. And I can say that everything I know is from Center for Executive Coaching. It was a great and valuable training for me. And then I said, what's next? And I moved to mentor coaching. That's why I can offer this. And then I asked myself, okay, what's next? And coaching supervision came to me, let's say, I think 8 years, when I think I told Andrew that I am going to Seattle for a coaching supervision. And I remember that Andrew asked me, what is that? and why do you need that? And I said, I will find out. And here, starting, I think, five years ago, I discovered that a lot of people are interested in coaching supervision, and now ICF is recognizing this as an important space for you to grow as a coach, and especially as a team coach. So there comes my answer why and now I know to really serve and bring some different perspectives and have a 360, let's say, image about what's happening on the coaching market. So I'm a continuous learner, as Andrew was mentioning. I attended all the team coaching courses and other coaching trainings, and I can say that I always come back to Center for Executive Coaching because, as Andrew is saying, is delivering more than 10 times the value. So this is a proven, and I can say for myself that I learn a lot, and I continue to learn and grow with Center for Executive Coaching. And now I think it's an honor, and I'm so excited to be part of this program and share some of my knowledge with you.
Great, thanks, Diana. You'll see too, should you choose to join, she and I have very different styles. If you haven't already figured it out, I'm pretty much bottom line, blunt. get to the point. Diana is everything else. And so it's a nice mix, and you'll learn things. When we'll come back later and talk about what is coaching supervision versus mentor coaching. Some of you know, if you have an ICF designation, you've been through mentor coaching. Coaching supervision is different, and it's something the ICF requires if you want their designation. So we'll come back to that momentarily. So let's talk about some statistics about team coaching. It's big. Compound growth rate, 7.3% since 2016. I think the overall coaching marketplace grows at more than 3%. So you can see it's one of the fastest growing areas in the market. It currently represents, or as of 2020, represented 17% of the overall coaching market, right? So if you're going to do one-on-one coaching, odds are good your client's going to ask you for team coaching, or if you don't, you're probably leaving something on the table. And, you know, it's expected to be a $2.75 billion business, according to a company called Grandview Research, by 2025. If you have 1% of 1% of 1% of that market share, I think you'll be doing pretty well. Okay. So, but why? Why is team coaching big right now? And I think organizations, especially as we've gone remote, gone to distributed workplaces, decision makers increasingly recognize the importance of team dynamics and collaboration. We're also seeing, of course, the rise of informal influence over formal influence, and that's where teams come in. And we know that teams that work well together enhance productivity and efficiency. And so it makes sense that organizations want to improve this skill of teamwork. And when you're a team coach, unlike as an individual coach, you get to see more. You can observe the dynamics at work and therefore better enable results. Even if you're coaching individuals while working with teams, you get to see the actors and the characters in action. And it's pretty cool. The other thing I'd add to this is what I'm finding is that a lot of organizations have highly technical people, and they're really good at technology, but they don't have the soft skills. Like they don't even, like the university faculty members I talked about, or hospital administrators who come out of medicine. They often really don't know what it means to work on a team. They don't have a language for it, and we can help them with that sort of thing. Okay, so why us? As Diana said, I mean, she has looked at every team coaching program out there, and I think we have a really unique niche. You know, I know one that is pretty big out there. It's overkill. It teaches the kind of complicated stuff you're never going to encounter, or maybe once in a lifetime, or only the top 5 coaches in the world will see. We're different. We're about on the ground experience. I've been doing this for 20 years. Diana's been doing it for a long time. And we have colleagues that have been doing it for a long time. We have years of on the ground experience knowing what works in working with teams. As I said before, we're practical, we're results driven. We do not allow fluff. This is not a life coaching, team coaching program. And we know what's really going on in the market, not for luminaries, right? A lot of these programs are taught by tenured faculty at universities. Marshall Goldsmith is a different example. I don't have a particularly world famous brand name. I started from nothing, made a lot of mistakes, built up. So you're getting the perspective of somebody, I think, more like all of us, who's, you know, not going to be hired just to read the phone book or just to have the celebrity name attached to you. The people who join us are amazing. We screen people out naturally. We get people who are successful. And, you know, one of the things that people say in our other program, our core program for coaching certification, is that they're amazed at the quality of people who join us. Other training programs, you find professionals who join that seem a bit adrift in their life, if I may be kind. They're looking for their own journey of self-discovery. Here, we're looking at people who have already self-discovered and just want to get good at serving others. Personalized support is always here with us. We'll talk about that more. And you see the faculty, we've introduced ourselves. Okay, so why think about it this way? The reason I rolled out this, aside from tons of people asking me to do it is because of how my own practice works. My own coaching practice is about being ready so that I can be a trusted advisor. And the way that works is you get invited for something. And it could be one-on-one coaching, let's say. Every time I'm invited to do one-on-one coaching with a client, I'm going to coach them. I'm going to listen to their issues. I'll do some sort of assessment to have data about their traits. At a certain point, they're going to share an issue about a team or even just a team member with me. And we'll talk about it. And out of that, they're going to invite me to assess the team, interview the team, coach the team, maybe facilitate a team retreat. And that leads to more work. Could be individual work. It could be referrals to other teams in the organization. It could be trainings. Or in contrast, on the right, sometimes I get called by a client to facilitate a team retreat right away to resolve a challenge. Like that healthcare organization called and said, we have a change initiative, it's stuck. Can you work with our team? And as part of that, we looked at the team. We looked at the team's traits, personalities, interests, thinking style, how they work together, and then expanded that to the leadership team while looking at additional meetings, team coaching, group coaching, facilitated retreats, and one-on-one support for certain team members who really didn't understand what it meant to be on a team. The point is, with this program, we want you to be a trusted advisor. And there are many ways to do that, and you have to be ready. And that's what we're going to prepare you to do. Okay. And in fact, in addition to the team content, one of the things that our program is about is marketing and business development. Whether you're an internal coach or an external coach, part of the curriculum and part of the support you get is about your positioning, your marketing message, and you'll get one-on-one support there if you want it. I don't think any other program does that. We even include our business development intensive when you join. Okay. So what we want to see, and if these are your aspirations, this is probably a fit. We want you to be a go-to expert in the world on team effectiveness, number one. Number two, we want you to have a sounding board. I will speak with you one-on-one anytime you have a tricky client, a prospective client. You have support. We're a small program. There's another program, they have like 600 people in it. That's not us. Okay. We want to be small. We want to give you a boutique experience. Because of the quality and caliber of our members, you're going to be able to build alliances, get support, and share success stories and your own knowledge with other professionals. And you're going to be ready to go. You're going to have proven approaches and processes. I'll share with you the manual soon enough. Okay. So the first thing to note is we are ICF accredited. Here's our certificate here. We actually just got it May 25th, I guess it says that we got it. Okay. And so if you want the ICF advanced team coaching designation, you have everything you need with us to get that if you join our program. Okay. Anne is asking, what does level 1 and level 2 accredited mean? So that's the ICF's main bread and butter. If you want to get an ICF designation like ACC or PCC, that's where level 1 and level 2 comes in. We have that. And in fact, if you're not already an ACC or a PCC, I'd suggest you start there and join our regular coach training program. This is, a little bit for seasoned coaches, but this is a separate accreditation we have with the ICF. Very few organizations, in fact, have this. So we're going to give you the easiest way to apply to the ICF for your advanced accreditation in team coaching. But more importantly, like to us, the ICF is always nice to have, but not sufficient. What we're about is giving you what you need to succeed in the market. A piece of paper isn't going to do it for you. It's great. It can get you in the door, but you need to deliver. And, those of you who are here in the Center for Executive Coaching program, hopefully you've seen that in our other side. Okay. So the curriculum, in fact, here, let me take you to the team coaching manual. So, with the program, you're going to get a manual. We talk about how to get certified. I'll take you through that momentarily. One thing to know, there's about 6 different ways to get certified with this program. I realize not everyone wants the ICF accreditation. So you could go through our curriculum, you can do a research project, you can submit recordings. There's lots of ways. We're about adult learning for successful professionals. So there are many ways to get our certificate. Don't feel like you have to come to every class, even though we record those. There's lots of ways. You know, we define what is a team? What is a team not? What is group coaching? What's team coaching? A team is a very unique thing. And step one we're going to talk about is contracting with a client to make sure they really want a team. We're going to review some foundational coaching skills, but in the context of coaching teams, we're going to look at the ICF team coaching competencies and just make sure those are understood. Okay. We got to talk about the process of team coaching. We give you actual proposals. We show you one-page coaching plans. We show you how to position yourself so that when a client says, well, how do you do this? You're going to be prepared. You're going to know how to do it. Okay. And you're going to know how to do it. Most coaches, they'll say, oh, I don't, you know, I listen, I'm intuitive, I ask great questions. That's not acceptable. Does not cut it in the market. We're going to show you how to say, you know, I have a 3-part approach to team coaching that's worked really well. Would you like to hear about it? And you'll know how to explain how you work. Same thing with contracting, sample proposals. We spend a lot of time in using data with team coaching. I'm going to show you some of the best practice assessments, some focused on bringing individuals together so they understand each other's unique traits, and at least one focused on the team itself. And we're going to show you how to create your own ad hoc assessments. We'll talk about how to give teams feedback and create an environment of what we'll call straight talk. Group coaching we'll talk about. I'll show you some distinctions to listen to when you're coaching teams. And the bulk of our content is case studies. I'm going to try to stump you with case studies of different teams at different phases in their life. And we're going to say, so how would you coach this client? We're going to role play some. We're going to conceptualize. We're going to see how you would structure something. Do you need a retreat? Do you need to interview people? Do you work one-on-one? Do you work with the team? What are the key areas of inquiry? So that by the time you're done with this program, I don't think you'll be surprised by anything that comes your way. And if you are, you call me or Diana, and we'll coach you through it. Okay. The other piece of this program is we're going to do some reviews of the literature and media. We'll propose some, but if you have favorite sources of books or movies or real studies of teams, that would be awesome. This is a very participative program. And we also want you to do some research as part of this. I want you to interview a couple of team leaders or team members and find out what's going on for real. There are 2 reasons for that. 1, it's the best way to understand how teams really work. And 2, the language is important, if that makes sense. A lot of coaches use stupid language. I don't know how else to say it. It's language that doesn't resonate with clients. It's like coaching jargon. It's kind of fluffy. Yeah, Hisham, 12 Angry Men is in the curriculum for those who want to see it. It's a great team resource, one of the best. It's also a great resource about influence. But I'd like you to interview teams. Like all of my clients came to me because I heard the way clients talk about their problems. And once you hear how people who are leading teams talk about the issues, you'll be much better equipped to position yourself powerfully without coming up with language that doesn't really get to them. Okay. So I'll give you an example here of what you see. You know what? Let me scroll through it just so you can see. I mean, there's a ton here. But let me go to page 37. So, you know, one of the things that we look at is what are we listening for? What are we observing when we're working with teams, right? And so one of the things we're going to train for, and by the way, we can add to this list, but at least in the teaching here, a lot of our case studies will be, you know, how clear is the goal? How aligned is everybody? Are they committed? A team is about commitment, not compliance. And we want to see about that. Okay. How related are people? Teams happen with chemistry, and that's a big challenge today with Zoom-based teams. How much trust is there? We want to get behavioral about trust. I know Patrick Lencioni uses trust a lot in the 5 behaviors. What does that really mean? What do we really need to see here? A big part of team coaching is straight talk or open and honest conversations. So we're going to look at that, looking at where it is and where it isn't. I don't know what your experience is on teams, but my experience is in corporations on so-called teams that aren't really teams, is there's a lot of fake stuff going on. People don't tell the truth. They talk about ugly lies or beautiful lies instead of the ugly truth. Part of our job as a coach is to get people trusting each other enough to have open, honest conversations. Efficiency, positioning for action so that people aren't just overanalyzing and talking, but they're taking action, they're accountable. We got to look at participation on teams. Is everyone participating? We got to look at power dynamics, something called the triple constraint, which those of you who know project management will know. And what else? We're going to talk to you. To us, unlike other programs, we're not saying all of this is set in stone. What we're saying is we're going to have a dialogue together and see what we can build on and learn from each other. Okay. And yeah, Anna, we'll talk about the difference between facilitation and coaching and when it matters and when it doesn't. Same with giving advice, consulting, and so on. So anyway, I hope this gives you some sense, of the content you'll get and of our curriculum. The other thing I'd share about our curriculum, again, is that there's a lot of business development that's included. Okay. So let me take some questions. Let me show you the website if I can, just so you know where to go. And part of what, part of the curriculum is also supervised coaching or coaching supervision. So Diana, if you don't mind, can you talk about what that is? It was an education for me. I've done mentor coaching, but supervised coaching supervision, I think in some ways is more important. So anyway, what is it? Why does it matter? And how does it work in this program, if you don't mind?
So as you all know, for ICF, when you are attending a level 1 or level 2 program, you need to complete 10 hours of mentor coaching. That is let's say, I can call it a technical program. In those sessions, you learn the what, how you apply the coaching process in a coaching conversation with your clients. So in a mentor coaching program is more about the how and how we start the conversation, how we contract with the client, how we explore, how we ask the questions, and how we close the session. So we are looking at those technical points of the coaching process. Coaching supervision is about the who of the process. So who are you as a coach when you apply the coaching process? And with years, we discovered as coaches that we are going into coaching sessions with our clients, and it's everything about the client, because that's what we are taught in a coach training program. It's all about the client. How can you serve the client? How can you support the client? So it's everything about the client, how to move from point A to point B. But no one is asking, but what about me? Who is going to talk about what's happening with me when I'm applying the coaching process? And that's what coaching supervision is a space where you have the opportunity to speak about what happened in the coaching process. You can say, oh, I arrived in the coaching process and something happened. I was angry. I couldn't apply the coaching process. So you have the opportunity to reflect on how you apply the coaching process. It's more about the who you are as a coach. The intent is to improve your coaching skills and become a better coach. So that's the idea. You can also apply this with your clients if you have if you have the, let's say, the opportunity to speak about yourself and reflect about how you do your work. I hope this makes sense.
Perfect. Yes. No, that's really good. I'll give you an example. I'm impatient. When I work with teams and it takes them forever to make a decision, I need to look at that. That's really important for me as a coach, to not take my impatience and let it show up with the client. So, that would be an example of something we can look at. Well, thanks, Diana. Now you get to choose. If you want the ICF designation, you have to do team coaching. It's our program costs $3,400. Team coaching is an additional $1,000. So if you want, and you can add that later if you want that, you can add that when you register. So in fact, in the chat, I've put the website. And I'm going to go there now just so you see, what everything is, and we can answer any questions along the way. Okay, let me share that if I can. We start August 31st, by the way, but it really is anytime enrollment. We record everything. It's in your member area and so on. So if you go to, our website, we're at centerforexecutivecoaching.com/team-coaching-certification, you can scroll down and see everything. I'm not going to take you here, but if you want to, if you want to sign up, you just go click one of these blue buttons. I think it even lets you pay in monthly installments if you want to do that. Okay. We've talked about everything here. You can see the pictures. That's me. I've been gaining some weight that we got to look at. I need coaching on that if anyone does that kind of work. The program is about 60 hours of content. Okay. And again, you'll see you don't have to go through all 60 hours unless you want the ICF designation. Okay. There's many ways. We're not task driven. We want to know that you can coach. You get the manual, you get access to recordings of all the live classes. Our classes, if you want to show up live, are right now, Thursdays, 10:30 to 12:30 p.m. Okay. It's via Zoom. They're interactive. They're real. I'm actually there. Diana's there. They're synchronous. Okay. You can join anytime, but why not start August 31st? That's why we're doing this now. You'll get a digital certificate, using blockchain technology, as well as this digital seal that you see. And here's what the certificate looks like. Okay. Again, you get we'll probably start a LinkedIn group just for team coaching so we can all communicate and network. There's the resource list, personalized support. We talked about the curriculum. You can read that more. I want to get more to, okay. So here's what you have to do to graduate. Okay. One, you could just complete the curriculum live. All right. That's one. You can write up a case study about a team that you've coached in such a way that we know you've been through the content. Okay. You can create and submit some engagement plans or coaching agendas for teams you will coach, and we'll show you how to do that. You can interview leaders of a couple of teams to understand their challenges and write that up. You can review the resources in our resource guide and submit some summaries of that and how you'll apply that to your own team coaching. If there are a couple of particular resources you love, you can use those. Again, we want you to get results for clients. And of course, you can complete the ICF team coaching process. All right. It's totally up to you. It just depends whether you want that ICF or not and what you want to do. Okay. We meet every week. The supervision takes place Tuesdays, 12 to 1 Eastern time. And you can attend as you can until you complete the required hours. Is it 5 hours, Diana, or 10? I think it depends on something.
Yes, it depends on the way you apply to the ICF, but we have 10 in our program. Okay, great. And so, that's really it. To us, a single team coaching engagement is lucrative. It in some cases worth more than a single one-on-one engagement. I believe everybody should have the ability to be a team coach. The tuition without supervised coaching is $3,500. You can save $100 by paying up front or pay in 7 installments of $500. You can add $1,000 or 2 more payments if you want for supervised coaching, if you want to go for the ICF. You can add that later as well. Okay. That's it. Other programs have level 1, level 2, level 3. They hit you with upsells. Just know up front, we're not doing that. This is everything you need to be successful. Okay. We are a super transparent organization. We are been called horrible salespeople. I'm not going to hit you up with a big aggressive salesperson that gives we don't do that. I'm a coach. I love developing content. I love training. I'm not the best salesperson in the world, and perhaps that's why my business has grown. But I do. So to be transparent, just know, you may want to purchase some books, some movies, and so on. So budget a nominal amount on top of that. We don't make you do any of that, but you might want to. That's really it. Okay. Let me take some questions here. See what we have. Let's see. And again, thank you for your time. We don't have a lot of time before we start, but let's see. So ways to meet the ICF requirements. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I anticipated this, and you can go, I'm going to put here
in your chat the ICF rules. Okay, so rather than me represent the ICF, let me put the ICF website right here so that you can go to it and you can see what's required. Okay, that's really important. All right. If you can't attend August 31st, by the way, that's okay. That's an orientation. Everything's recorded. That's the point I want to make. Okay. You can, yes, Santanu, you can, for your research project, if you want to do that, you can interview people within your organization. Again, it's about what serves you. It's super flexible. Okay. Are all 6 of those ways acceptable to the ICF? No, just that one that you'll see on their website works for the ICF. And I'm sorry about that. They are hours and task oriented. You need a certain number of hours. You need to complete the supervision. And so I strongly direct you to that. Okay. Great. And so this is all Eastern Time USA, if that helps. Let's see. Are there any differences for CEC alumni? Yeah, if you're a member of the Center for Executive Coaching, you receive a discount, right? Because there's 1 or 2 things that you've already done in our program. And so we give you a discount. Email me and I'll get you that promotional code. If you're military, any kind of active military, we'll get you a discount. It's not enough of a discount, but it's what we can provide there. Okay. Are there any other content included? Oh, yeah. We work in some of our toolkits. You get all of our business development content. That's what we're known for, is content. So there's a lot of content. Let's see, what else? Let me go to the, you can, I'm going to take this off record now. I mean, what's the next step? The next step is go to the website and register if you want to register. And let me give you my email. It's, just go to info@centerforexecutivecoaching.com to reach out with any questions. But other than that, let me take this off record. And now, if you have specific questions that you want to raise your hand and